The Writer's Dossier Podcast is a proud member of the Authors on the Air Global Radio Network.
Hi, it's Elise Hart Kipness, and this is my Writer's Dossier.
No writers were harmed in the production of this podcast.
Hey, everybody. Hi, this is Jeff Circle. I'm back with another episode of the Writer's Dossier Podcast. And today I'm so excited because I am here with a super cool person, author of Elise Hart Kipness. Elise, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I love being called super cool. Thank you for having me. I'm really
you are
excited to be
super
here.
cool. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. You're super cool because we're going to talk about some things. And by the end of this episode, those of you who are listening in the car on the way to work for your commute time, we're going to get right to it, and you're going to understand why she's so cool, because I've got some inside information for you. But first, we're joining you here from the Dossier Podcast Studio, Writer's Room, and occasional speakeasy, as you know. And Elise has got a super setup there. She's rocking her Close Call coffee mug and her Close Call in the background, and some great books there in the background. What have you got behind you there?
I have something so fun if you want to know about it. I have my U.S. Open
Yes.
pass from 2001, which I had to take out because Close Call takes place at the U.S. Open.
Yes.
And I have my World Series press pass from the Yankees, and I have my Michael Jordan press pass from his second retirement.
Okay, so everyone who's listening here and they're like, Elise Hart Kipness, wait a second, she's writing books now. Those of you who don't remember, she's an ESPN star reporter who
Fox Sports. I was at Fox Sports.
See, that's the kind of shit I need to edit out of my podcast.
Okay, so start again.
No, we're going to keep it. Fox Sports, even funner. Come on, folks, Fox Sports. So you've got all this great memorabilia and all these great stories, and I want to touch on one before we get to your book, Close Call.
Yeah.
But first, back to your U.S. Open thing. I have a little tennis ball here that you sent me.
I did.
And we found out what's inside.
I mean, I can't believe that you had the capacity to wait. Like, I get a present and I'm opening it that minute. So that's impressive. Are you going to open it, or do I have to tell you what's in?
I'm afraid if I open it, that whatever's in here is going to go flying out. So, and I don't want my dogs to eat it. So, yes.
It's mints. It's
mints.
Little peppermints. I know. And everyone keeps saying they're really good. And I am actually bringing those mini tennis balls to all my events on my tour. So,
and you're going to bring some to BoucherCon, right?
I am going to bring some to BoucherCon, of course. Absolutely.
Everybody going to BoucherCon, come on and go. So, all right, real first, before we jump into Close Call, a sports story. So let me just jump right to the question. What happened to the stool that you used to use when you interviewed all these giant sports legends on live TV standing up there? Does that thing still exist?
I would imagine someone else is using it. You've heard, like, my producers would carry a milk crate around, and I mean, I'm 5 feet for anyone who hasn't met me. I'm, a little small there. And so it started with NBA players, but even with NBA players, I was like holding my hand really, really high. And then we used it for everything. We used it for baseball. We used it because really I'm small compared to anyone, which is one of the reasons why I made my main character, Kate, tall, because I was like, oh, it would be nice to know what it's like to be tall.
Well, let's get right into that. So Kate Green, by the way, and I love this shade of green. I have green eyes, and I like anything green, I'm in. I almost had
I tried to match it to your eyes. Did it work?
Oh, I should. Everybody, get Close Call. That was a close call. Okay, this is a close call too. But I managed to use my Swiss Army knife, and I've got this thing open, and there are mints inside. Everybody, wherever Elise goes on her tour, and we will share that information for you, go check her out. She'll give you some mints.
I'll give you some mints.
You some mints. Okay, so I'm totally losing the plot here because I'm distracted by food. You, as a reporter, created this character, Kate Green, and I mean, lights out. You've got a whole series around this whole sports theme, which a couple things. First of all, one, you've managed to really set yourself apart. And I think the readers, you've heard this from readers, these books aren't like anything else. I mean, who's writing stuff like this? So that's fantastic. Good on you. Really smart. And second, you are uniquely, well, I don't want to say uniquely because that word is completely misused and overused. You are, I'm a little grammar hound on that one. Same with fewer and less. But let me ask you this. You, as a sports reporter, had a minute and a half, sometimes maybe a little bit more, to get in all this stuff. And without sounding like the person at the end of a radio commercial where this is brought to you by your interest rates may vary. When they speed that up, you got so much information into those broadcasts. How did that help you as a writer? Because all we hear now is jump right into the story, word economy, don't use 7 when 4 will do. You have that experience. Did that help you when you decided to become an awesome novelist?
I think it helped me, and maybe it was a challenge too, because I had a very specific style. As a reporter, you write in the present tense. As a broadcast reporter, you're always in the present tense. So if there was a sporting event 24 hours ago, you don't say there was a sporting event 24 hours ago. You say this morning, Joe Schmo is waking up to hold his trophy above his head. Like you have to always be in the present tense. So I always wrote in the present tense. Like I couldn't think in the past tense, especially Lights Out with my first book was complete present tense. With Dangerous Play, I had some flashbacks that I dipped my toe into past tense, but it was hard. That was definitely work. It wasn't how my brain thinks. So when I first started, present tense was considered, I think, more for YA, and it wasn't as prevalent. And, my style is my style. Like that wasn't something that I could change. I'm very open to edits. I'm very open to feedback, but like, that's just my DNA. Now I think it helps. I think present tense is used a lot more in mysteries and thrillers, and it does provide a certain type of style. I'm definitely one. You hear a lot of people who say they overwrite and then they have to cut. I tend to underwrite and have to add.
Wow. Wow. Well, was it also in your DNA to go with first person with Kate Green?
Yeah, that's something I played with at the very beginning when I started taking classes after I stopped reporting and I decided that I wanted to try fiction. People sometimes say, oh, you were in news. You've always written fiction. But
I wasn't going to go there, but come on, you're a TV celebrity.
It's low hanging fruit. How do I avoid it? Right.
Wasn't a big jump. It was from live action to keyboard.
But the first time I wrote Lights Out, I wrote it like a reporter. So I told you the who, what, when, where, why, and there was no suspense. Like that was a boring draft. So when I first started, I tried third person and I tried first person, and first person quickly felt much more comfortable for me. I felt like I could really get into the mind of my character.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. So folks, a good starting point, Lights Out, Dangerous Play, and Close Call. Those are the 3 books in this series. Tell us about Kate Green, and then I'm going to ask you about what she's going on within Close Call. Who's Kate Green and what's her deal?
Well, you've heard me say this about Kate Green. I like to think of her as the way cooler version of me.
Wow, she must be amazing.
Oh, yeah, you did call me cool at the beginning of this podcast.
I did. Okay. And I'm still eating this mince. I'm on my 3rd one.
Yeah, she's like meteoric,
So Kate Green, everybody, even cooler than Elise. Come on.
We're both sports journalists, but she's an Olympic gold medalist and I'm in soccer. She played soccer and I'm a soccer mom. And I think of her demons as, mine are very mundane and boring, like yawn, yawn, but she
ran out of milk.
She has like dark and deep, issues and abandonment issues, and so she's interesting. She's also like very genuine, and she's tougher than I was. I wish I had been tougher than her, so I was able to to write what I wanted through her. And that was kind of cathartic to
And,
like
and
have her stand up to people in a way I never did.
and she does stand up because she's tall.
Yes.
How tall is she? Can
She's
we know?
5'7".
5'7". All right. Um, uh, thank you for your note, folks. And I'm holding up Close Call here, and I keep repeating that title because I think it's important. Close Call, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, where did you get these cover designs? Because the whole series, and you sent me so many goodies here. The whole set is amazing. And that right there, you just enjoy putting your hand on this book, looking at it and opening it up, and fantastic covers. What kind of support do you have in that arena?
Yeah, I have to say, Thomas and Mercer and my editor, Liz Pearsons, were just so phenomenal about this. Lights Out and Dangerous Play, basically, we didn't have to do that much. Fixing for them. But the first cover of Close Call, there, wasn't quite what I had hoped. And Liz was amazing. Like, she really worked with it and went back. And then, green, even though it's the color of your eyes, it's a hard color to get right on a book cover. And like, yeah, we went through a lot of greens, but I feel really good about this one. But I've really been so happy, and I feel so lucky with the support I have from my team at Thomas and Mercer and from my agent, Liza, who is just 100,000 times behind me and supporting and advocating. I feel really lucky.
And you're talking about Liza Flessick. I was talking to somebody about her the other day. Gene Kuhn was just on the show, and he said, "Who's your agent?" And he said, "Liza." And I'm like, "Dude, I know you're new to all this, but you did great. So congratulations." How did you land Liza Flessick?
I landed her at Pitch Fest at Thriller Fest. I was a success story of Pitch Fest, and it's kind of crazy, but she was my first choice. I was so excited. I got the phone call from her. I don't know, like a month later. And literally by that night I had signed. I was like, I was all in. Like, she was the person I really wanted to be with. So when the call came, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
That's wonderful. Good for you. And how
Yeah.
many years ago was this?
I guess I lose track, but probably like
Okay.
3.5, because, it was a debut last year. I mean, a late debut, because Lights Out had come out in September. So it was like 11 months after my first book came out, and my second was about to come out.
And now
'Cause
you're
it
on your
happened
third.
quick. Once I signed
Yeah.
with Liza, Thomas and Mercer was our first choice, and it just happened really quickly.
Well, we are pinging the Amazon algorithm with all the Thomas and Mercer talk, and
They better love me.
that's our goal. That's our goal. And we're also pinging a thumbs up for Thriller Fest and Pitch Fest, folks.
Yes.
I think the biggest story out of that is don't give up and put yourself out there. You've got to get in front of people and
Yeah.
explain why your book is great and make someone's eyes just pop and say, "Fine, I will sign you within the next 24 hours." That's how aggressive and confident you have to be. So with as far as explaining that book, and I'm not talking about Lights Out, but Close Call, tell everybody what's going on with Kate Green in this book, Close Call. What's going on there? I'm going
So
to have another mint.
yeah, enjoy yourself. Commercial break. Kate is now covering the US Open, and she's doing an expose for her weekly show on two of the top stars in women's tennis. There's the upstart and there's the brash veteran. And then one of them goes missing, and the other one starts getting ominous messages from the kidnapper. So Kate needs to solve the crime to save a life and figure out what connects these two women that you would think would have nothing between them except a very big rivalry.
Nice. So everybody, if you haven't read Elise Hart Kipness, you don't have to worry about this being like some sports heavy documentary. That's not what these books are about. But you get some of that sport element. So I think it's going to appeal to a broad readership. of both people who want a good story and a strong female crime solver like Kay Green. And I mean, come on, she's tall. She's 5'7", so that's awesome.
Yeah.
She's no milk crate,
Yeah.
no ladder. And just the way Elise writes that the way the sentence structure and the prose just, it flies, because like we
Me
said,
too.
you're welcome. She knows, you know how to use 4 words when 7 will do. And before you know it, you'll be through this wonderful book, Close Call. Elise, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Tell people how to get a hold of you. Folks, go out to thewritersdossier.com and check out Elise's first dossier, because you'll learn something special there about what she has with her every time she sits down and writes.
Yes, and like, spoiler alert, it's with me right now.
All right, well, there you go, folks. Go to thewritersdossier.com.
What can it be? What can it be?
What can I say? Yep. If you're watching on YouTube, you might know already, but go to her dossier. Find out all kinds of neat things about her. And what's your best, most used social media outlet that you use, like the one that you post to first, where people can really get a hold of you, because they can go to your website anytime, elisehartkipness.com, and then go to Amazon and Instagram.
Go to Instagram. I love Instagram. So that's like me hanging out on Instagram. So
go to Instagram, everybody. Follow Elise Hart Kipness wherever she is on tour with this book right now. Go grab some mints. I've already plowed through half of mine.
Yeah.
And the secret, once I pried this thing open with my Swiss Army knife, the secret is it twists.
It twists.
It twists. So there you go. Otherwise, these have been gone already. But now that I'm into them, it's all over. And I thank you for the bracelet too. You're so awesome.
You're welcome.
Hey, I can't wait to see you next month at BoucherCon.
Yes.
I will get you a coffee, and just because I was just thinking about it.
How do I take my coffee?
Go to the dossier and find out. Elise, thank you so much for joining us. Go to elisehartkipness.com, follow her on Instagram, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. You bet. Bye, everybody. The Dossier Podcast is a production of The Idea Academy.